Good morning, guys. How are we? Are we keeping well? Time is currently 5:45 on Friday, the 14th of August. So that's a little bit later than we usually get out in the morning, which is nice because we can actually avail of some sunlight now. We usually head out at 5 a.m., but my first client of the day, my first in person, Jack, has cancelled on me, which meant that, well, I didn't get to sleep in. I was up at the same time, but it meant I could wait until it was actually a little bit brighter outside to go get some steps in, okay? It is going to be one of them things that is going to help to center circadian rhythm, i.e. Sunlight early in the morning, and then obviously getting rid of all light toward the back end of the day. Do you know what? I will actually talk through a little bit more on. Sorry, am I? I will talk through a little bit more on the things that I've been doing to improve my sleep post prep. It's not something that is just going to happen, okay? Something you have to put a lot of effort into. So yeah, we'll chat through that in a bit. It is Torso B day today, so I'm looking very forward to that. Rest day yesterday, worked a treat because I will tell you one thing, I was smashed yesterday. But yeah, we'll be back now in probably 15 minutes. We literally just go out on a loop around the estate. We get like 2,000 steps in, and it's just a nice way to start off the day. So yes, today's video will be a full day of eating on a training day. I woke up this morning at 78.2 kilos. So the rate of gain post-holiday, I've gained like a kilo a week, which is probably a little bit too fast. But I'm happy enough to just kind of like let it settle after the holiday. And you know, if I gained another kilo over the next week, I will definitely be looking to reduce the rate of gain by bringing down the surplus a little bit. But we'll play it by ear. Okay, enjoy the video. I'll see you in the next one. So cream of rice has been created the way I like it in terms of texture. Soft, right? But thick. So not overdone, but soft. Okay, that goes in, as I said, to the freezer now for the next hour. Take it out before it turns to ice cubes. Meal number one coming up next. So first meal up, we do have 150 grams of sourdough. We've got 4 eggs and 50 grams of spinach. Let me see if I can get this to go down. There we go. You may ask where the rest of the sourdough is. It is in my belly because I put 100 grams here and 50 grams, i.e. one slice goes into me whilst I wait on this to get cooked. So yes, guys, meal one of the day, consistent as ever, and about to be enjoyed. Alright gang, so morning check-ins are now boxed off. I do have another batch to get through later, but I just got through all of the guys who do come in and get them over to me very, very early. So it's now 9:15, I think, 9:20. 5 check-ins done. I have 10 check-ins on a Friday, so another 5 to go, so literally halfway through. But also a new program sent out to Kelly. And what else did we get through? A lot of WhatsApps this morning actually, and I still have a small little bit to do because quite often it's a case of a client asking a question, me asking more questions, getting the answer, and then maybe having to make some changes in programs, etc., etc. Or, you know, it's not always that way, but it is that way today anyway. I have to make a couple of nutritional adjustments for a client based on like lifestyle and what's realistic for him to be able to hit the bigger overall targets. So yeah, gonna have my pre-training meal now. I'm gonna make meal 6. Okay, why are we making meal 6? Because it is a Ninja Creamy, and that is one for me and Ellie. Ellie has a much bigger Ninja Creamy despite being on less food than me. I just put less of my food toward the back end of the day and more toward and around training sessions basically. So yeah, I'm gonna make this, have this, make the creamies. There's a few more WhatsApps coming in. I can literally hear my phone buzzing in my pocket. And then get to the gym for Torso B. So I'll be in the gym probably, well, I'll definitely be in the next hour, hopefully closer to 10. Get my session not just done, but smash my session. And then hopefully I'll have time to come back and do the check-ins at that point. If not, it will be a little bit later in the day because I am meeting up with a long-term friend for a sauna today. So my good friend Pierce Nash, I don't know if he's gone out of his way to come here, but he said he was sort of passing. He's coming up from Waterford, I assume, to go back down a different way. So he must be just passing Nice. But I'm going to meet him in the sauna for 2:30. Grab a coffee if he has the time beforehand. Pierce is someone that I actually set up my first coaching business with. So there was 3 of us in the group. I alluded to this recently enough, right? Me, Pierce and Sean Brannigan. So he helped, I guess, get the show on the road. You know, I was at that point where I wanted to start coaching, but I wasn't confident to set up the page and get after it myself. But as a trio, I felt a little bit more protected, and I think the boys were raring to go as well at the time. I don't think either of them are actually really in the industry right now. Pierce might do a little bit of S&C with his local GAA team. But yeah, it will be good to catch up with him. We do have actually a lot to discuss. Pierce is one of them guys that is one of my very best friends, but I mightn't talk to him for a good while. And I know for a fact that I've plenty to talk with him about because, yeah, some shit has gone on. But anyways, 99% dark chocolate. It's actually fucking fantastic, lads. And, you know, speaking to my past self, I would be like, what the fuck is that shit? But yeah, fucking really good stuff. Very thin, okay? It's very thin, this one from, yeah, it is Lindt. But that's quite nice in the cream of rices because you get to spread more of your chocolate around, whereas with the bigger ones, even if I, you know, make them, you know, cut them up quite small, they're still fucking, you know, 15 grams would go in a couple of bites. But with this, I get a hell of a lot of squares. I always underestimate how much I actually get. And then we've got the squeezy peanut butter. 15 grams of that going in on top. I'm actually not having any pre or any pump today. I will have a coffee. But this will have, you know, plenty of sodium, plenty of salt, so that the pump is gotten. So 2 grams of salt on this. The top of it just looks like salt. It's like I'm having cream of rice plus salt. Also, the cream of rice I left in for a little bit too long. The top of it is very, very frozen. Here's my creation, guys. What are we saying? What are we saying? I've had a lot of chats with individuals on making cream of rice lately, right? For whatever reason, it's become such a topical discussion point. When I started making cream of rice, I was like so let down. So let down. Saw everyone having it. I was like, this is a bodybuilder food. I need to have it. I need to enjoy it. And I thought it was terrible, but it was how I made it. That was the issue. Yeah. You need to spend time learning how to make this properly, boys and girls. Okay? You really do. Otherwise, it's going to be terrible. Where's me bowl? There we go. Look at that. Bosh. Don't tell me you wouldn't absolutely devour that. Devour. So this comes out at like 700 calories. It is like 35 protein, 110 carb. My biggest carb meal of the day, always pre-workout, with post-training, the post-training meal being the second biggest carbohydrate meal of the day. So funny story, actually, the other day I did have a client consult with my man Ben, and Ben was like, I've one thing that I need to say to you before we move forward with this. He was like, I was like, what? He was like, I can't eat cream of rice. I can't eat cream of rice. I was like, bro, that's not a hill we're gonna fall down on. I never program in cream of rice into nutrition plans unless someone asks. Because I feel like it's one of them things that if someone is gonna want in their plan when they see me having it so much, they're gonna fucking let me know. Or if I have a good inclination that they already have it, or if they have it in like their onboarding form, in terms of the nutritional information that I asked for there. I have another consult today with a prospective client. So yeah, the ball is rolling, guys. The ball is fucking rolling. As I've said for the last few weeks, in the last week, I've taken on 4 clients. The week before was 1 more as well. So that was 5 new clients on board. And another potential client on board today. If you are interested in coaching and taking your physique to the next level, there is a link in my bio on YouTube here for you that you can go through, and then you will fill out a form and we'll have a call, discuss where you are, discuss your goals, and discuss what we need to do from where you are to take you to where you need to be. If you're happy with that, if you're happy with the processes overall, if I'm happy with you, kind of like your mindset, where you are, and you know, small other little things, we'll be good to go. What I'm gonna try and do now is fucking eat this, because it is like a rock, an absolute rock. And to be honest, it's not gonna be something that you'll wanna watch, is me trying to, you know, jab this multiple times. So I will leave this video here. I will enjoy this, and I'll be back to you probably from the gym. I'm not actually gonna video today's session, because in the video that I've just edited, I went through torso A. So we'll keep things different. Obviously it's a different session today, but we'll make sure to go through torso or limbs B tomorrow, which is quad focus. So you will get an insight into my quad training tomorrow, which is going fucking really good. So, you know, touch wood, it stays that way, because I'm always 1 rep away from having to get fucking knee replacement. Look how frozen this is, guys. The literal whole thing just perks up. I'm not sure if you can see that, but hopefully you can. As I said, this is gonna get messy. All right, gang, how are we? We are back in the crib after a fucking phenomenal torso session. The reality is, right, over the course of the last, honestly, since I've come back from Alicante, every session has been so good, like so good, so progressive. Every time I go into the gym at the minute, I'm adding reps or adding weight and just capable. Now, of course, post prep, I was weak as a kitten. Okay, I was weak as fuck. So some of that is going to be like regaining of strength from prep. But I really do feel like I'm growing. Like I feel like I'm back in my groove. I'm not I'm just not feeling weak at all. I'm feeling very strong at the minute, relatively, and growing. I feel like every session now, I'm seeing myself like literally getting denser, guys. Denser is the word. And the reality is, all I'm doing is the same shit over and over again, repeating the process, but a little bit better each and every week. Okay, so we are going to ride this wave, my friends, and ride it into the ground, because the longer you can stay here in this kind of growth zone, the better your outcomes are going to be. I actually was chatting, it was in a client check-in there during the week, and I met the client in the gym. He was saying that he was just struggling a lot with resting, like having his rest days. And the way I kind of put it to the client was, rest days are part of the program, okay? This is not like something that is taking away from your long-term goals. It's actually adding to your long-term goals, because now you can get into the gym and continue to make progress. If you never feel like you have to rest, you need to assess, how hard you're pushing, okay? It came to yesterday with training, that's a bit low. Came to training yesterday, or to yesterday, when I had a non-training day, and I needed that rest day. I was looking so forward to that rest day, I needed it so bad. And then today I got up and I was ready to go again. Okay, so it's coming at a perfect time for me. I'm feeling smashed on my rest days, and then I'm coming in the day after, one day of rest, and just feeling strong, feeling ready to train, feeling energetic. It's so important to have your rest days. I like training 5 days a week, okay? I think that is the perfect amount of training for me. Less than that, I will not get the volume requirements in that I need to grow my best. More than that, running push-pull legs twice per week, and I just find that I'm never truly on, okay? Because to be truly on, you need to be able to, have periods where you're off, or the way I put it is, if you're always on, you're never on. And that's the reality of it. What will happen is you will run yourself into a wall. Burnout will come if you're not able to catch the signs quick enough. And progress will stall. Plateaus will come in. You'll end up getting pissed off at the gym. And yeah, so rest days, strategic, programmed, there to push you on, okay? Get the right dose of training in across the week. Have your rest days. You're pushing hard enough if when it comes to a rest day, one, you need it, and two, you couldn't really fathom the idea of training, okay? At least that's the way I look at it. But from a physiology perspective, we know we need our rest days, because during our training days, we are stimulating muscle growth. But stimulating is not the same thing as causing, okay? Because without recovery, we do not get adaptation, okay? So it's stimulus, provide the stimulus, recover, and then you adapt, all right? Remember that. And this is why you wouldn't train a muscle group 2 days in a row, because you need the recovery in there. Obviously, there's going to be some recovery for a muscle group even on a day that you're not training it, like the day after. Even if you're training another muscle group, like if you do push on Monday, you do pull on Tuesday, obviously your push, the muscle groups that you're training within that session, they're going to be locally recovering. But if you're doing enough work across your week, it's going to be systemically fatiguing as well, okay? And that systemic fatigue builds up over time. And that's ultimately what we need to make sure with our real rest days, our structured, programmed rest days, provide the opportunity to dissipate or remove that build-up of fatigue. Okay, you'll obviously get to a point then with that where you might need to take some sort of a deload or diet break, or you might need to take a devolume, or assess managing volume in some sort of way for a period of time. But yes, your rest days, guys. Rest days are needed. I love having clients that don't want to rest because they're not the clients you need to motivate to get into the gym. And it's easier to manage them, but they do still need managing. And if you're in that camp, one, make sure you're training hard enough on a day-to-day basis. Make sure you're training with enough work across these sessions. And then just take your rest. Okay, because if you do what I said there in terms of like working hard enough, doing enough of that work, working efficiently, effectively, doing enough to cause a change, you are going to need that rest to follow. And I needed that yesterday, and it came true today. We do have more cream rice coming up next. 80 grams of cream rice here. Gonna throw it into the fridge just for half an hour now because I need to get back out on the road. The ninjas are in there. I'll have to get her in there. But I'll be back when it is time to eat, going through the meal. So, looks pretty much the same as the last meal, guys. 80 grams of cream of rice instead of 100. We do have 100 grams of banana in there as well, 100 grams of berries, 10 grams of dark chocolate, 10 grams of peanut butter. Bosh. Time to scran. Okay, so the sauna is now complete and we have our next meal ready to go. It's just gone 25 past 4. I'm actually a little bit behind with this meal. So 200 grams of chicken, 100 grams of rice and 150 grams of peppers. I will also be using the peri sauce, lemon and herb, and some salt. Okay, so more on the sauna to come after this, probably after I get some check-ins done as well and finish off my work day. I'm gonna go enjoy this. Chat to you soon. What's good, guys? How are we? We doing well? That background's not gonna get old. So it is now 25 past 6. I've had the next meal, which was the same as the meal before. So 200 chicken, 100 rice, 150 veg. All check-ins boxed off. Now that's for the week because it's Friday. Just had another client consult call. Went well. Grace is signing up. Good to have you on board, Grace. And it's actually time to chill. Okay, so I will wait on Els to come home. We will go out for a walk because I'm only on 5,500 steps. And when we go for a walk and come home, it'll be time to sit down in front of the TV. We're on that Pan Am show on Netflix. What is it? Pan Am 103 Netflix? I thought it was 101. But we are literally on like the same episode for... No, we're like an episode and a half in a week and a half, I want to say. And it's all my fault. I'm on the couch like 5 minutes and I'm like, just gone. And one night Ellie left me there and I was literally, I woke up at 2 a.m. and I was like, oh my God, my back. Get me into bed. So that's gonna essentially, well, I'll show you my last meal. But other than that, with my meals, meal prep, meal plans, okay? One of them things that until you spend time in a meal plan, once you learn a little bit about calories and macros, you think, that's the way to do it. Honestly, life could not be easier for me now in terms of nutrition, guys. I don't have to do maths on a day-to-day basis, okay? I literally have my 6 meals throughout the day. I know what I'm having. I don't have to think about it. That decision making that I don't have to make is gone out of my head. And what that leaves me with is more time to focus on the things that actually matter. Okay, so meal plan, boom, nailed. Every single day, without failure. Hitting the exact numbers, no questions, okay? and it frees up my brain to focus on the things that actually matter. Okay? Stop glorifying meals. Even those who bang on about calories this, calories that, right? Me in the past. Still eat the same meals. And to be honest with you, I actually do have better nutrition now as a result of being on the meal plan, because I would get lazy and I'd have like 3 bowls of oats a day and like one maybe chicken meal or one chicken and bagel meal before, because I was just like, oh shit, I need a meal. Whereas now it's a case of I have my meals, I know what I'm having, I know when I'm having them in and around. I'm not anal on times, okay? I'm not anal on times. I've got general windows for when I want to have meals in by, so that they are spread out well enough. But I'm not someone that's anal on the times, because for me right now that would take away from my process, because days can be different, okay? But yeah, guys. So another member added to the team. Another day of growing. Today was a phenomenal session. A crazy good session. I just feel like I'm going into the gym now. And honestly, I was on the granite chest press today. I was like, fuck, I might add another 10 kilos on here. I didn't. And it was only because I wasn't at the top of the rep range. But I think I could have. Okay, I think I could have. Next week we do add load, because I think I can. And we'll see how that goes. I didn't actually talk about the sauna today, and to be honest with you, like, why is there to talk about the sauna? But more so, the time spent with my good friend Pierce. It was only when I met Pierce today, and actually as I was driving there I was thinking, geez, when's the last time I've seen Pierce? Because Pierce lives in Laois. I met him through college. And I couldn't think of when it was, so we had a chat about it. Like, fucking hell, it's been so long. But in reality, it felt like, I seen him yesterday. That's the reality. That's, like when you got a good friend, it was like no time had passed, okay? While so much has happened in our lives and we had to catch up, and I was like, geez, I didn't know this, didn't know that. Just felt like back in college, minus the alcohol and that. But yeah, it was really cool to see, how far we've come in both our own kind of worlds, how much things have changed, and whilst they have, it felt like we have been with each other every day since. Boys supporting each other. Gang, we've had a disaster. The Ninja did not freeze, not because of a lack of time spent in the freezer, but I think the freezer is it's had better days. So I'm getting blamed for it, of course, but don't see how a freezer not freezing something is my fault. Yeah, well, anyways, we're gonna try enjoy this. 30 grams away, 100 grams of strawberries, 50 grams of banana, 20 grams of dark chocolate. That's a full day of eating. 3,567 calories, 250 grams of protein, 493 grams of carbs, and 65 grams of fat. I'll try and enjoy this. If you've watched this far, thank you very much. We're going to keep the vlogs coming tomorrow, because we've got leg day and a high day of nutrition, which is going to look very similar to this.